Leadership Training Service presents International Day of Peace 21 September. One night a villager had a strange dream. Next morning when he woke up, he was convinced of the message of the dream. So, immediately he ran to meet the holy man who usually sits and meditates under the banyan tree at the village entrance. He encountered him at his usual spot absorbed in meditation. He abruptly interrupted his prayer and shouted in a loud voice, "Give me the precious stone you have with you." The seer opened his eyes. "Why do you wish to have the stone?" The holy man asked in a serene voice. "I had a dream last night. In the dream I was informed that the holy man who is at the village entrance has a precious stone in his possession. I was told to take it from him and then I will be wealthy," he muttered. Then again he repeated his demand, "Give the valuable stone to me right now." The holy man smiled. He was well composed and peaceful. Though the man shouted at him for no reason, he was not disturbed in any way. He knew that happiness and peace came from within. With an assuring smile he opened his bag and brought out the precious stone. It was an enormously huge diamond and exceedingly expensive. The man was extremely happy. He could not believe it, his eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. Then, after gracefully bowing down to the man, the holy man gifted him the precious stone. The man almost grabbed it from the monk and ran back home, without even sparing a moment to thank him. As soon as he reached home, fear gripped him. He was afraid that someone might steal his coveted possession. After considering for a long time, he hid it in a secret place. But he could not sleep during the nights for fear of thieves. As the days went by he lost his appetite. He confined himself to his home, guarding his new property. He stopped meeting his friends and even avoided them if they visited him. He was even suspicious of his family members. He lost the happiness and peace he enjoyed so far. As days went by, he realized that he was losing the beauty of life along with sleep and peace of mind. He compared his state of life with what he had before. In genuine retrospection, he was prudent enough to identify the reasons for his present miserable state of affairs. Finally he decided to rectify his mistake. He had to make a tough decision. He realized he had no other choice if we wanted to become a happy person once again. He took the stone and went back to the holy man. At this encounter with the holy man, the villager was a changed man. He humbly presented it at the feet of the holy man and said, "Teacher, take back this stone and give me that inner peace and detachment that made you to give it away so easily. After going through this experience, I realized what I really need is peace of mind. The inner peace that comes from detachment will make me truly happy." This anecdote will help us to understand the significance of inner peace before we deliberate on peace in the world. It will give us the right frame of mind as we reflect on peace on the occasion of the International Day of Peace. It will assist us to realize the role of peace in personal and communitarian life. Peace experienced by the leaders will also contribute to the establishment of peace among the nations and peace in the world. International Day of Peace is observed all over the world on the 21st of September every year. This day is also known as World Peace Day. It was established by United Nations resolution in 1981. The day was first celebrated in 1981, and is very religiously observed by many nations, political groups, military groups, and people of goodwill. What is the purpose of this day? The purpose of this day is commemorating and strengthening the ideals of peace both within and among all nations and peoples. The observation of Peace Day provides all of us an opportunity to showcase our commitment to peace by forgetting all our differences and to contribute to building a culture of peace. The purpose of this day was periodically redefined and enriched. In 2001, 2 decades later after its establishment in 1981, the United Nations General Assembly unanimously voted to designate the day as a period of non-violence and ceasefire. This day exhorts all nations and forces of the world to observe 24 hours of non-violence and ceasefire. This gesture showcases our respect to the commitment to build a peaceful world. Once again in 2013 the day was dedicated to peace education by the then Secretary-General of the United Nations. This was the fruit of the realization that peace is the key preventive means to say no to war. The United Nations Peace Bell, a unifying concept. Every year the International Day of Peace is inaugurated in a Symbolic manner at the UN. The celebrations begin with the ringing of the United Nations Peace Bell at the UN headquarters in New York. Have you heard about the United Nations Peace Bell? There is a very moving story behind this bell. This bell is fashioned with the coins donated by children from all continents except Africa. It was a gift from the United Nations Association of Japan, as a reminder of the human cost of war. There is a touching inscription on the side of the bell. It reads like this: "Long live absolute world peace." The UN theme for International Day of Peace 2020 United Nations General Assembly has chosen "Shaping Peace Together" as the theme for the International Day of Peace 2020. The UN invites all people of goodwill to celebrate the day by spreading compassion, kindness and hope in the context of COVID-19, the global pandemic that is hounding the world at this point of history. To cultivate a compassionate concern for one another. It is a clarion call for all of us to be more humane during this universal crisis period. Let us stand together with the UN against attempts to use the virus to promote discrimination or hatred. Let us come together for this noble cause, so that we can shape a peaceful world together. 5-Point Action Plan 1 – On the International Day of Peace, let us join the United Nations for Peace programs in our own way using available methods. Let us plan and execute some symbolic programs with our teachers, friends and neighbors and spread the need of peace in the world. 2. Let us celebrate the day in a personal way by making peace with people we are not friendly with. 3. Let us use our social media sites to spread the significance of the International Day of Peace in our personal and communitarian life. 4. Let us be aware of the violent tendencies within us and work on them so that all of us may grow as promoters of peace in the world in our capacity. Instead of confronting people, let us learn to practice care-fronting possibilities. 5. Let us learn the art of meditation to experience inner peace. This inner peaceful disposition is very essential to initiate and maintain meaningful and peaceful relationships. Let us wish one another the International Day of Peace.